Hey everybody, this is Brenda Johnson here at Canvastag. Glad to see everybody's doing a great job. Just came out to say hi to everybody. Hope everybody's doing good. Me, I'm doing really good. We're getting ready to paint this table here. I have it over here. I want to make sure y'all can see it and see what's going on. Because I had it going this way, but I wasn't too sure about it because of the door. I have my door open. I wanted y'all to be able to see it though. So we're gonna go ahead and get busy on this table. Thank you for joining my YouTube channel. Please subscribe above for my YouTube. I'm glad to be here. Thank you YouTube for having me on. So we're gonna get ready. We got this old table. Give y'all a look at it. Kind of fixed it up a little. Has a little scratches, but not a lot, just a little. It's a really nice looking table. Here's the drawers that goes in it right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to fix this up. Okay, and we're going to do that is we're going to clean it first. So I always like to turn my tables over because I get these from Goodwill. I make sure there's no bugs in them. So what I like to do is turn them over. And I'm going to clean this part. So I'm going to go ahead and go on so y'all can see what that looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and finish cleaning it up. I already used the 409. I'm just going to wipe this down. And then we're going to get to painting. This one I got some ideas for. It's going to be a little different than what I had going on. So, hold on. I decided to start doing the YouTube videos because I finally had enough audience to qualify to do one. So I was excited about that. Very excited that I'm able to do a live. So that was pretty cool. So then we're going to turn this over. And we're going to clean this up. Now, what we're going to do at the top, we're just going to leave it. So you can see what it looks like. We're not going to do anything with this top. We're just going to clean it and fix it up later. But right now we're not really going to be worried about it. It's a beautiful top. It just needs, it has some, actually it's really beautiful. It doesn't need anything. It just needs some oil on it probably. It's a very beautiful top there. Yeah. So let's start. I'm going to go ahead and take my Dixie mud, which I know I bought in here. And I'm going to put some in these little grooves here because I nailed this back on because I didn't like the way it was. So there's just some little bitty holes in here, but I don't need to do a lot. I just want to fill them. I don't want to sand them down and all that because I want the table to keep looking old. Okay? Then I come through and I'm just going to wipe easily and easily back and forth. I just wanted those holes filled. I think I did a really good job. I think they're filled. I just didn't want to see those holes. So I'm going to do that again. Just want to make sure we get them done. I hope everybody's doing good. As for me, my business is going really good. I'm actually not supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be in Houston right now with Bonnie them. They're at the Joel concert. And I didn't go. Because we weren't thinking to the last minute, we forgot about our dog. So I stayed behind to watch my doggy. Because I don't want nothing to happen to my beautiful doggy. So we got this going on. So now we can spray some more. We just want to make sure we get this cleaned up really well. This really, really well. The last thing you want is your customer to have to get some furniture home and look at it and think, what in the world did you get this from? So I used my 409. It's a degreaser. It's really good. I sometimes still use Dixie Belle cleaner But when it's this bad, I gotta go pour them on and just wash it. Yes, you know. Now this table here, this top is a little scratched. This one here, but I'm thinking I can still make with it. Like I said, I don't really want to do too much to it. I just want to make it look nice. I don't really, will that come off again? Why is that coming off? Oh, it's coming off on both sides. I need to put some glue in there. We'll get some glue for that. It won't take me 2 seconds. Like I said, it would take me 2 seconds. And it didn't take me 2 seconds. So we're going to put some glue on here. So, what can we talk about today? Well, I was talking to different people about my videos, and they were telling me that they wanted to hear more about education and kids and bringing up their own kids and stuff like that, and what should I do to help them? Being an ex-assistant principal and things. So, I decided that I could help by telling some stories I know. Now, some of the stories I'm going to tell y'all might not have to do with no place where I worked to cover myself so I don't get myself in trouble when somebody sue me. God forbid that. But I'm going to tell you some stories I know about kids. I'm not going to tell you where I got the stories or how I got the stories. I'm just going to go into some stuff that parents need to know. I met a lady, and I hope she can hear me and verify this conversation because y'all are going to think I'm crazy, who has some kids at home. And I was sitting, and I'm just gluing that down. I was sitting in Toyota while they put brakes on the cars, and I met a whole lot of people sitting at Toyota. Now, I didn't realize this until I retired, but there's a lot of people out there that I found out, and I'm going to get off the subject for a minute here. Again, I'm just using the Dixie mode. That I found out who do not go home. They wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning, they're already retired, and they leave their house because of the anxiety of not working. They can't handle that. I did not know. I know when I retired, it was very hard for me not to go to work. I mean, it was great. When you're used to, look at it like this, when you're used to going, and you're just going, and all of a sudden, you're used to where things are happening, there's fights, or there's nice things happening, like pep rallies, kids are doing good, graduation, and your emotions are just all over the place because there's so much going on, good and bad, that, and then you retire and you sit in there and you're waiting and you have this anxious feeling, but nothing's going to come of it because there ain't nothing going on at home. So that was really a rare one for me. That was something I had to learn to do. So I started asking people how they did it. I come to the conclusion the best thing was just to pray about it and do things I like to do, which in this case would be my art. So I was kind of blessed because I had something to fall back on. I couldn't imagine if I didn't have art or could fix my house up, like I just put the new stairs in. I'm almost finished those. And if I couldn't do that kind of stuff, I probably would be lost. I know I would be lost. Ain't no probably to it. I would definitely be lost. So I think I got all the grime and stuff off of here. It's a beautiful table. I don't want to see it go to waste. But this is so beautiful. I'm going to keep this part probably. So I don't like this black down here. So I might change that out. Okay, so now comes the first fun part. We get to paint. Like I said, we don't have a lot to paint. So we're going to go back to our Dixie Belle. I don't know why I poured all this food. I've lost my mind. And we're going to stir this. And this one's going to be the Mojave, I don't know one. But there it is right there. Mojave, and it's the silk paint from Dixie Belle. This held up really good. This was in the garage. Look at this, y'all. It held up really good. This was in the garage over during the summer, and y'all seen the summer months. It's hot out there. It was hot out there. So we're gonna start. And I'm not really gonna tape anything off. I don't think I need to. I'm pretty good with this brush right now. Well, this is gonna be our first coat. So this is the first coat. But we were talking about education and what's going on in the educational world. And it was funny because I told her, I was like, well, it's really crazy because there's so much difference in when we went to school that our parents didn't have to worry about a cell phone. Our parents didn't have to worry about all the things that come with a cell phone. And trust me, there's a lot. So I was telling the parent that it's pretty hard raising a kid nowadays. But there's some things that you can do. Because these kids are ahead of the game. I had one lady tell me one day, she's like, oh, I was doing some parenting classes. And she says, oh no, my daughter, I know where she is every day. I said, you do? She's like, yeah. I have her car on track. I track her car at school so I know when that car moves. And I said, well, how do you track it? And she's like, well, she doesn't know where to track it. I'm like, oh, okay, so how do you track it? She says her husband bought a device and put it under the hood. And the daughter didn't know they could, they were always watching her. But I'm going to tell y'all something. These kids are not dumb. One day, her mom asked her where she was because mom was concerned. It was late at night. Mom was concerned. She's like, where are you at? Mom knew where she was because she had it on tracking. But mom kind of gave it away that they were being tracked. And so when she asked the daughter where you're at, the daughter realized, my mom knows where I'm at. Because, you just wouldn't call it. The parents never really called like that before. So this girl wasn't crazy. So the mom told the daughter, well, I'm just checking on you to make sure everything's okay. Where you at? Da, 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 da. Well, the girl knew better. So what happens next is she tells her friends, I think my mom has me on a phone thing, and she follows me on her phone. So the girl got her phone, the mom's phone one day, and checked it. And she's like, no, it's not on the phone. So they got together, and they decide that they wanted to, I'm laughing, but it's not funny, that they were going to go under the car and look for it. So she takes her car to this place that everybody knows about, except for me. I never heard it until right then, period, about how and where you can tell on your card. You actually pay them And they have some device that can tell you if your car's being tracked. So that's how they figured it out. So they took the tracking device and showed the girl how to use it and where it was at. So every time she went somewhere and she wanted to leave the school, this is why I say our kids are smart. She would take that device off the car and put it on a car that would just be sitting there for a while, or a car she realized wasn't moving for any time soon. And it was funny because one of the cars she put on, one day, it belonged to a teacher, and so they're like, what teacher never is absent? And it belonged to one of the teachers who were never absent. And so all the kids would always, that poor teacher probably didn't even know at the time that they had, all those kids had put those on their cars. Because see, she would say, I need something for my car, or oh, I forgot that. They would all volunteer to go. So the girl, the lady leaves, the teacher leaves. So the girl didn't have time to get her thing off the car, because all they did was put it under the car. They didn't need to open the car. So the teacher, who never leaves, left for whatever reason. And the mom noticed that the girl was not at school. So she called the school and said, hey, can you call my daughter down to office, because either somebody stole her car or she's not at school and I need to verify. Well, when she goes to verify, the daughter's at school. So the daughter realizes what's going on and runs out to the parking lot and realizes the sub's car is gone. So the mom, she tells mom, now remember, daughter still don't know about this. That's supposed to know. She knows, but she's not supposed to know that mom can see and hear everything she does. Well, what happens next is the lady goes, the kid goes and says, well, Mom, I don't know what to tell you. I'm here at school and da-da-da-da. I'm in the principal's office, da-da-da-da. Well, where's your car? Who'd you loan your car to? I don't know my car to anybody. Your car is not at the school. She goes, Mom, are you here? How would you know? And she goes, okay, you're right. I guess I thought I saw your car. Mom made up something. And so this went on for a while. The story, this parent took a while before she realized what they were doing. And the way she got caught was her brother told her. Her little brother, who was in first grade, said, Mommy, we can't leave yet. And she said, why? Because we haven't put the camera on the car yet. I almost said the kid's name, but it's crazy. The mom says, what camera? You know, the camera. Let me show you. So she goes out and she realizes that her daughter now knows that all this time. And so this parent's telling me this story, and as the kid gets older, she graduates from school. And then, this is a funny part of the whole story. She graduates from school. Her gift to her parents from graduation, she had a book she would keep, her journal. And in a journal, she had sent a thing to her mom, and she gift wrapped it to her mom and dad, and the journal read, here's all the tricks that I did while in high school. Make sure my brothers and sisters don't do what I did. Here are the tricks, and here's how they do it. I'd been mad if I was her. But she told them about, you know, I knew the whole time you're following me, Mom. And so a lot of times as kids, we think, you know, and you know, as parents, we think our kids, you know, we're ahead of the game. And that's when we get beat. I mean, being in education as long as I was, it's what we do with these kids. I had a friend who told me the other day that she had bought her kid a game to play. It was now everybody's gonna think I'm talking about them because everybody I know's kids has this game. So I'm not gonna tell you who it was because you probably don't know anyway. They don't live in San Antonio. But anyway, she bought Fortnite, And she brought this other game, Grand Theft Auto. And she was like, my kid has changed. I said, when did you notice they changed? She's like, around Christmas? I said, well, what happened at Christmas? Somebody died, somebody get hurt? What happened? She's like, no. I said, well, maybe, what did he get for Christmas? And she's like, did he have a good Christmas? Was he happy with his gifts? And she's like, yeah. He wanted Grand Theft Auto, and I finally gave it to him. He was old enough to have it. I said, are we talking about the same kid? Because the kid I know was in 3rd grade. She's like, yeah. And I was like, I don't think a 3rd grader is old enough to have Grand Theft Auto. And she's like, well, all his friends have it. I'm like, okay. So I said, well, that's probably the problem. And she's like, what are you talking about? I said, he's probably bored, and now he wants to go do the real thing. And she thought I lost my mind when I said that. She says, girl, you crazy. She was so mad at me, she didn't talk to me for a whole week. She wouldn't return my calls or nothing for a whole week. Week later, I hear from her. It's the kid's birthday. His birthday's in March, the same month mine is in. He asked Mom, Mom says, well, what do you want for your birthday? You pretty much have everything. He goes, want a pellet gun. She goes, a what? He says, I want a pellet gun. He goes, I want to shoot the real thing. I'm tired of just shooting with this game. It's boring now. I need a real one. And then Mom calls me and she says, Johnson, you were so right. How'd you know? And I said, you can't give me the credit. You can give credit to God, because being around these kids as long as I have, I've seen it. It's something you learn when you're around kids that much, or teenagers that much. You learn real quick what they do and what they can't do, and how they can manipulate the system. And they're good at it. They are so good at it. So the mom, she was so sorry. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I can't believe I did that to you. I'm like, no, I'm good. You don't ever have to worry about me. I said, I'm just telling you because I know. I'm there. I see it. These kids talk. When they like you, they talk to you. They tell you things. And sometimes they tell you things because they want you to tell them. They want you to tell their parents. And the lady's like, how in the earth? I said, yeah. He's sitting there shooting every day at this game. Of course he's going to get bored. Because it's stimulation. I didn't even need college for that one. And she's like, dang. I said, yeah. And she goes, well, what do I do? Huh? I said, that's a good question. I said, what is he in? Is he in sports? No. Does he play an instrument? No. Does he do art? No. Can he write? Is he a writer? No. He didn't do any of that. He doesn't like any of that. I said, I wouldn't either if I had a game to sit there and play all day, and I don't want to stop playing and have to go to practice. So, a lot of the problems we give our kids, we are the problem, not the kid. And parents didn't like it when I would tell them that. The problem's not the child. That child's only in 3rd grade. The problem is parenting. None of us, including myself, as a parent, have any answers. We don't have any. If we did, we'd all be rich. I don't know why my dog's barking. We would all be rich. So, come here, bro. Come here. Cut all that noise out. I'm standing right here. What you barking for? I'm right here. So, I don't know. I really like this table. Who's out there? There's no telling who's out there. People come to our house to sell everything. Y'all want a new roof. You want a new, I'm like, dang, really? Yes, it's bad out there. I know, yes, I know. And sometimes I feel sorry because I know they're only trying to feed their families. So, had a guy, it was funny, come by my house the other day, and I'm home every day now, since I was kid, and they have a ladder in the back of their truck, and I'm sitting there watching them, like, what the hell are they doing? And they hadn't got to my house yet, but my camera can shows all the way out to my neighbor. And I see them getting on people's houses, and as they're getting on these people's houses, they're moving, not taking it off, but moving the shingles around on the house. And then they come up and ring your doorbell and say, hey, you got a shingle loose up there. We do roofs. We can show you how to do it, and your insurance will have to pay for everything, and you don't have to pay for nothing. We're going to give you a cost, but we're really not going to, it's not going to be the real cost. So I was like, I ain't going to jail. That's illegal. But I watched them, and then they ring my doorbell, and I told the guy I don't need it. And I shut the door real quick, and he was pissed. He was not happy with me. And so then I was like, if y'all want to know what I'm looking for? I'm looking for a screwdriver, but I know where they are. I just didn't want to leave it. So I looked, and I was like, I don't need it. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. But no, I don't want it. And so the next day, they come back. But he comes with this girl. Like, I'm not changing my mind. I'm like, no, I don't want it. And he just don't get it. So I wonder if I wasn't here, but they would have gone on my roof too. All the screwdrivers, oh, it's okay. They would have got on my roof too, but it was crazy. I was so upset. And Bonnie's like, well, did you call the police? What I must say, there's a man on these roofs, and people already say, oh, you're overreacting. Nope. So I tell my neighbors, oh, I went over, and then I said, hey, this guy was on the roof today. I don't know if you told him to or not. I have a picture of him if you want to see him. And he's like, you didn't call me? I'm like, no, I don't want to overreact. You could call me anytime. Oh, yeah, now you want me to call you. Now you want to be best friends. Oh, no. Life don't work like that. So I just thought that was funny. I know y'all are probably bored to death with my videos, but I'm having fun. And that's all that matters. But I hope everybody's having a great day. It's Friday. You get to go home. I work on Fridays. I used to hate Fridays. I used to hate it with a passion because on Fridays, I never got to go home early because of football. I love the games and seeing the kids play. But by the time Friday hit, you're so tired. You have no energy left. You have to go to the game. You can't, as an administrator, you can't leave the game until every kid is gone. But I give credit to my principal. He was really good at saying, you guys can go now. I gotta give him credit. My last principal I had at the high school, he was good. He was like, okay, I got this. Y'all go on home. So some principals will stay all day. They don't care. All night. And then when I was coaching for a while, the kids wouldn't come. Their parents wouldn't pick up their kids. Oh, my mom said she at the club, Miss Johnson. You'd be waiting. They're like, what? And then the mom would drive up. Oh, I'm sorry, girl. I fell asleep. I said, no, you didn't. Your son already told me you were at the club. Oh, Johnson, you know me. I gotta get my groove on. It's Friday. I'd be like, really? And we'd be so tired. So, hats off to them, to anybody who's still working in the education system. And you just go, and you don't realize it until I'm going to turn this table over in there so I can get all the legs really well while this part dries. I'm just looking for drips. Just leave this alone, these coats. I'm just seeing if I'm going to have to change anything. But it looks like it's taking. There's no drips. So So we're going to turn it over so I can get the other part. We're going to take this out though. So we can get the other part. I have a table I need to paint. It's black. It's a beautiful table. And I already know what I want to do with it. But how can somebody mess up beautiful art like that? It's a beautiful table. And somebody's just freaking it. But art, everybody's art is different, I guess. I say that all the time. I like to turn my tables over because you miss a lot when they're the other way. And I don't want to miss it. I wanted to see how this paint was going to take. And it's taking really well. It's really good. I didn't put no primer. It isn't, you're not supposed to have to put primer with this one. You should have it in there already. It's doing good though. This second coat is looking really good. I really like how it's looking. It's taking. It'll let it dry. I think that's the hardest part of painting for me, is letting the paint dry, letting each layer dry. I think that's the hardest part for me, because I don't like to let it dry. Now I'm going to do down in here, and these legs. So this one looks really good from what I can see. It looks really good. And I'm looking at looking at the part I probably wouldn't see. Real. Tonight I'm going to do some art. I'll be making that long drive to Houston right now, but didn't have to go because I'm a dog. And Billy Joel's supposed to be playing over tonight. I know, I don't like when to play things like that lately. People get these ideas in their head and I don't know. Just had a weird feeling about this kind of stuff. I don't know why. I'll probably be okay. Plus, I haven't been feeling that well, so that's probably the reason I'm feeling like that too. Because I haven't been feeling well. I will do it. But I didn't want to take the elegance of this table away. That is why I used this color. Because of the elegance in this color. I was looking for my daughter to call me back. I had asked for my grandbabies tonight. Because in the whole house, nobody's here. It's party time. Miss Johnson's house. Come party. So, I haven't been on it a while because I was taking care of Bonnie was real sick with the flu. She still is sick. She still don't feel good. But they'd already bought the tickets. And I don't care for Billy Joe. I mean, he's a great artist, don't get me wrong. He's just not my mom. I paint his pictures all the time. It's just, matter of fact, I have a picture of him painted in my hallway in there. He's a great artist. It's just not my type of music. But I want to go. It's not something I want to see people screaming and yelling. Actually, if I had to pick an artist that I would want to go see, that's what it is. Hold on, now. They're cutting my yard. Hold on. Hey! But if you need it through the week, I'm here. Okay. I'll go get it tonight from the bank, and then you can come any day, and I'll be here.
No, it's okay then. This time.
Okay, I'll be 100 next time.
Okay,
Thank you.
Don't worry.
Yeah, the gardener's here. I don't have money for him, so he said, "Don't worry about it, Ms. Johnson. Get me next time." I have a great gardener. He's been our gardener for years. And usually I have the money put up. And I don't want to give him a check because they have a hard time trying to cash them. I would go get the money, but I can't leave because of my table. So I told him. Yeah, I'll get him. He can come anytime in this week and I'll go get it. Yeah. There's some good people out in the world still. Lots of them. So all we're doing is just painting this, making sure there's no drips. Letting it dry, taking our time. You could forward the video if you're bored. But if you forward it, you might miss some gossip. You know Johnson, I'll get y'all some gossip. We put a little water in here. This is really thick. Let me show you how thick that is. Put some water in here. And a half. Stick over here. Oh, I can tell you where it is. It's under here. I think I'm going to put some more glue on that. I'm going to mix this up. A little more water. It's thick, thick. We don't want it that thick. We're just touching up. Like I said, looking for drips or what. Any drips. Looks like we might have to do 3 coats. Looks like certain areas it took really long. But certain areas it might have to 3 coats. Hello? That's the phone. Hello?